About 240 million people are eligible to vote in this year's U.S. election. The 7 swing states expected to decide the 2024 U.S. presidential election are key battlegrounds that can shift either Republican or Democrat, making them critical to both campaigns. Here's a closer look at these states. Georgia. In Georgia's Fulton County, alleged election interference has landed Mr. Trump in one of his 4 criminal prosecutions. Trump has been convicted in one case, while the remaining are ongoing. He and 18 others are accused of conspiring to overturn his narrow defeat to Mr. Biden in the state. Trump denies any wrongdoing, and the case looks increasingly unlikely to be heard in court before the election. A third of Georgia's population is African American, one of the country's largest proportions of black residents, and it is believed that this demographic was instrumental in Mr. Biden flipping the state in 2020. Pennsylvania. Both sides have also been campaigning doggedly in the Keystone State, which is where Donald Trump survived the first assassination attempt. The economy is a top issue here, as well as many other places. Inflation spiked across the country under the Biden administration before gradually reducing. High inflation could hurt Ms. Harris across the U.S., as polling suggests it is giving voters an unfavorable view of the economy. Trump has sought to attack her by pinning her to the Biden economy. Arizona. This state borders Mexico for hundreds of miles and has become a focal point of the nation's immigration debate. Border crossings have fallen in recent months from record highs, which have made the issue near the top of voters' concerns. Trump has repeatedly attacked Ms. Harris's record on immigration because she was given a role by President Joe Biden in trying to ease the border crisis. He has also vowed to carry out the largest deportation operation in U.S. history if he regains the presidency. Michigan. Michigan is the country's largest proportion of Arab Americans, a demographic whose support for Mr. Biden was in jeopardy. But Ms. Harris has taken a harder tone on Israel, and some Gaza protesters have told the BBC they hope she will be more sympathetic to their cause. Trump has highlighted the state's significance in his potential path to victory. Commenting on events in the Middle East, he has called on Israel to finish its campaign over Hamas in Gaza, but get it over with fast. Wisconsin. The Badger State has also picked the winning presidential candidate in both 2016 and 2020 by a margin of little more than 20,000 votes each time. Trump has described that state as a really important. If we win Wisconsin, we win the whole thing. The summer Republican National Convention was held in Milwaukee. Ms. Harris was rallying in that same city when her party's own convention formally nominated her as the Democratic presidential candidate, appearing via a live feed. North Carolina. Polls appear to have tightened in the Tar Heel state after Ms. Harris assumed her place at the top of the Democratic ticket, and some analysts now call it a toss-up. North Carolina borders Georgia and shares some of its top electoral concerns, as well as those in Arizona, another Sun Belt state. Trump carried North Carolina in 2020, but did so by just over 70,000 votes, which has further buoyed Democrats' hopes that this purple state, one that could vote red or blue, could be winnable in this election year. Nevada. The Silver State has voted Democrat for the last several elections, but there are signs of a possible turnaround by the Republicans. Both candidates are vying to win the state's sizable Latino population. Despite the fact that the U.S. economy has shown strong growth and jobs creation since Mr. Biden took the presidency, the post-COVID recovery has been slower in Nevada than elsewhere. At 5.1%, the state has the highest unemployment rate in the country, after California and the District of Columbia, according to the latest U.S. government statistics. If Trump comes to power again, he has vowed a return to an agenda of lower taxes across the board and fewer regulations. These swing states hold a disproportionate influence on the outcome of the election, due to their electoral votes and the fact that they can swing either way depending on voter turnout, campaign strategies, and prevailing issues.